Hey guys, I'm in FX. On today's channel, I'm gonna be teaching you guys how I simply analyze GBPUSD. So the first thing that you want to do is to take notes on the few things that I'm gonna be talking about. So the first step, whenever you want to trade GBPUSD, just like I do, is to look at the first two candles of the week on your GBPUSD. I'm gonna go more deep about them. First, let me explain the four things that you're supposed to do. The second thing is to the second thing that you have to do is to add your cyclo levels 50 pips apart each other. That's the step 2. And then for the step 3 is gonna be adding trend lines, right? And then step 4, we're gonna be looking at chart patterns. Okay, let's start with the first one, which is locating the first two candles of the week. So on the first two candles of the week, the reason why you plot your first two candles of the week is so that you get to know where the market is gonna be heading for that particular week, if you're gonna be having more of buys or more of sales for that week. So this strategy only works on GBPUSD. I have tested it so many times. So trust me when I say this, you have to try it out. If you think that this is not true and he's just saying things based on what he wants to say, not what he have big tested or something like that, you have to go try this thing out. It really works 100%. So after locating your first two candles of the week on the H4 time frame, you go ahead and start adding your cycle levels. Cycle levels, they're supposed to be 50 pips apart each other. Cycle levels, they help you in terms of making your entry points, exiting points, where to put your stop loss and where to put your take profit. And then step 3 that we're gonna be looking at is plotting trend lines using top-down analysis. Most of the people, they usually ask me what top-down analysis is. So top-down analysis is basically coming from a high time frame going to a long time frame, which is 4 time frame to 15, and then 5 minutes or 10 minutes, something like that. That's top down analysis. And then the last thing that we're going to be talking about is chart pattern. Chart pattern, it helps you to identify where the market is going to go. Let's say if you see a W, it means that the market is going to go for buy. If you see an M, the market is going to be selling. If you see an head and shoulder, the market is going to be doing a sell. If you see a converse head and shoulder, the market is going to be buying. So those are the things that you have to understand. And then now let's go ahead and look at my chart, which is on GBPUSD. Okay, I believe you can all see my chart. Let me just quickly clear everything out. It's a little bit messy, but let's clear it out. Okay, I'm looking at the GBPUSD. So the first thing that you want to do is to go on the 4-hour time frame. You look at the first two candles on the H4 time frame. So the first two candles, you only look at them when the market opened. Remember, you're trading currency, so currency usually close on a Friday and then reopens on a Sunday at night. So what you want to do now is to come here on settings, and then you go on more settings, and then events, and then session breaks. After doing so, you get to see these blue trend lines, right? And then this is Wednesday, Tuesday, this is Tuesday, then this is Monday. So you only add this cycle level, this high and low of the week on Monday only, and then you get to see where the market is gonna be heading for that week, if it's gonna be more of buys or more of sales. After marking this high and low of the week, it doesn't mean the opposite is not gonna happen, or you know what I mean, like in terms of where exactly the market is gonna be heading. If the market, it breaks the high going to the upside, knowing that you're gonna be having more of buys. If it breaks going below, it means you're gonna be having more of sales. For this week, let's mark out, and then we get to see where the market is gonna be heading for this week. Okay, as I can see, the market is gonna be going for a buy. We're gonna be having more of buys. less sales. So anytime when the market goes up, I'm actually gonna be waiting for a drop here, and then I'll enter again for a buy. But then this is just what I'm thinking, not what I'm seeing. So let's do based on what you're seeing, and not to try to to trade with what you're thinking. So after doing so, adding your your high and low of the week, you make sure that you want to lock them so that they don't get to move whenever the mouse is moving or anything like that. And then at the same time, when you are done using these lines, there is these blue dotted lines, what you want to do is to go on settings and more settings as well, then events, and then session breaks off, and then press okay. So like I said, high and low of the week is gonna be helping me to identify where the market is truly gonna be heading for that week, if I'm gonna be having more of buys, or if I'm gonna be having more of sales. So for this week, it simply means I'm gonna be having more of buys. So this is what I'll do next. After plotting my high and low of the week, I'm gonna be plotting my cycle levels. Cycle levels, they are just like random numbers, just like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you plot your cycle levels on the H4 time frame. So now what I want to do is to locate where are my cycle levels. Let me shrink my chart a little bit so that I get to see more clearly. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, so my first cycle level is gonna be 1.3200. That's my first cycle level. 1.32. Okay, 1.3200. Okay, then I'll be like okay, and then I would like to lock it as well so that it doesn't shift around or move around, anything like that. So the next cycle level, what's the number after 20, which is 25? We're talking about whole numbers, so you just calculate, just put another 5 whenever you get another whole number, something like that. So there's 1.32500, which is somewhere, okay, somewhere above, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, somewhere here, but we have to be more accurate, like we said. Okay, 1.32500. Okay, this is my next cycle level, and then I'll be like okay, and then I'll lock it. So anytime after doing something like this, what I would like to do now, where is it? I deleted it. Oh my god, let me re-enter again. Said 1.2500. That's my cycle level, and then I'll be like okay, and then I'll lock it. So the previous one, I just deleted it on mistake. I don't know what happened. And then before you go any further, what you want to do now is to find out if it's really 50 pips or not. So if it's 50 pips or less, you get to know it by coming here on this my measurement tool, right? And then you just click where the first cycle level was, and then you just drop. As you can see, 50 pips, like I said, 50 pips apart each other. And then now we're looking for another cycle level. After coming from 1.325, now we are going to 1.3300. That's another cycle level, which is somewhere here. My mouse, 1.3300. Okay, on settings, I try by all means to make them more accurate. That's why I'm putting these I'm doing this, what I'm doing now, which is part of plotting, something like that, right? And then after doing so, I'm looking for another cycle level, which is 1.33 1.33500. That's my next cycle level. Okay, let's add that, then delete the 19. 1.3, okay, something like this, and then I will lock again. After doing so, let's add to the downside, which is 1.15. 1.15, that's my next cycle level. Okay, I'll just quickly delete this and then add zeros, then lock. Okay, after doing so, now my market, this is how it looks like. And then this is another cycle level again. Let's just plot it again, which is 1.3100, 1.3100, 1.3100. Okay, something like this. Okay, then I'll lock it again. After doing so, now I have plotted high and low of the week, and then cycle levels. Cycle levels, they help you in terms of knowing where exactly you get to enter, and knowing exactly where to put your stop loss, when to exit, most of the stuff like that, you understand. And then the third thing that we talked about was chart, in fact was trend lines. Before we get to chart pattern, let's get to trend lines. Okay, still on the H4 time frame, you want you want to do what we call top-down analysis of trend line. Top-down analysis, like I once said, is coming from a high time frame going to a low time frame. So as for me, I'm a day trader. I only do my entries on the 15-minute time frame. I have no businesses on placing trades on the higher time frame like the H4 time frame or 1 hour time frame. I only do my entries on the 15-minute time frame since I'm a daily trader. Okay, so now what you want to do is to draw a trough. This is a trend line, right? And then you try by all means to shrink your screen so that you get to see more wider. You understand what I mean? You shrink it so that you get to see how your market is like. So this is an upward trend, right? We don't want to see you doing any sales or anything like that, you understand? Why? Because this is an upward trend. If the market is going up, you are expected to do more of buys, less sales. So let's draw my first trough. This is a trough, this is another trough as well. So maximum touches for a trend line is supposed to be 3. If you have more than 3, know that anytime there's gonna be a reversal or something, or a reaction to something like that. So this is my first peak, and then second peak. So likely in the future, if the market comes here, I'll know that there will be a reversal to take place right here if the market is gonna be heading up. And then the other thing as well now that we want to do is to go on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, on the 1 hour time frame, as you can see, we're still in an uptrend as well. So I'll try by all means to draw another trend line, which is from this point. This is another trough, and then this is another trough again. So I'm just gonna draw that line. So from this bottom, okay, up to this, something like this, right? So this is the touch, this is the touch. When price comes here in the future, I know there's some reaction to happen here. Either I'm gonna buy or it's gonna break, and then I'll wait for a retest, and then I'll short, which is a topic for another day. And then I'll go on the 15-minute time frame where I do my entries. So on the 15-minute time frame, I don't just enter, I get to plot another trend again, which is part of top-down analysis. And then I'll plot another trend line from this point right here, right? This is me trying not to plot unnecessary trends. I'm just plotting what I'm seeing, understand? Plot what you see, not what you think. So there's a touch here, which is a trough, and then another touch, right? So at the end of the day, I have about 3 touches. So this is the touch, this is the touch, second touch, then third touch right here. This was my third touch, right? And then let's zoom more in so that we get to see our charts more clearly. let's get to do that. Okay, so like I once said, okay, there's one more. Okay, this is a touch, another touch here again. Okay, something like this. Okay, so if today, if I was to take a trade, where exactly would I have taken a trade? As you can see, market it's on a cycle level, which is 1.3200. This is a cycle level, right? And then at the same time, there's a trend line right here, which is telling me to buy. So already I have few reasons which are telling me to buy, which is high and low of the week, and then circular levels, and then trend line, and then the last confirmation is gonna be chart pattern. So whenever you see a W in the market, you get to know that the market is telling you to buy. Whenever you see an M, the market is telling you to sell. Whenever you see a head and shoulder, the market is telling you to sell. Whenever you see a converse head and shoulder, the market is telling you to buy. That's how it works when it comes to chart patterns. So let's try it. So now let's try to identify with where are some chart patterns. You understand? Let's try to do that. Okay, so let me quickly draw this chart pattern right here. Okay, so like I was saying, this is a W, right? As you guys can see, this is a W. So if I was to take a trade here, I would enter for a buy somewhere here. After seeing this nice and perfect W, I would buy from this point. Why? Because one, the market is in a bullish trend, and I don't want to be selling from this point. Why? Because the market is already in an uptrend. So what's the point of me selling from this point? I have no reasons of selling. So whenever you take a trade, make sure you always look at both sides. If you are having more of reasons to sell, you go ahead and sell. If you're having more reasons on to buy, you go ahead and buy. So on this trade, I'm having more of buys. Why? I would like to buy on this point. Now let me explain more on reasons why I would like to place this buy. So the first thing, the market is on my trend line. Like I explained before, trend line, they help me to identify where exactly I'm supposed to enter, or reversal points or support points. So trend lines, they work as if they are support and resistance levels, you understand? So whenever the market comes to a trend line, it means it has to bounce back up, understand? Unless if it has been broken, now that trend line becomes a support zone. In fact, it becomes a resistance zone when the market it breaks to the downside. If it was up, it becomes a support, it will become a resistant level, and then if the market breaks a resistant level, it becomes the support, and then the resistant, if it's broken, it becomes the support. So that's how it works. So on this one, we have so many reasons why you should buy. So far we've explained two things, which is the circular level, and then the chart pattern, then trend line as well. And then lastly, which I explained about, was high and low of the week. So last week we were supposed to be having more of buys, which we did. We had more of buys. So that's why I went and bought this market right here. So there are different types of chart pattern that you get to see in on GBPUSD. There's a W, there's an M. This is how an M looks. It's the opposite from of the W. What am I doing? Sorry guys. Let me draw another M. Okay, this is an M. Okay, this is an M, and then and then we have a head and shoulder. This is a head and shoulder. Okay, this is a head and shoulder. This is how it looks like. Okay, good. And then a converse head and shoulder, it's more like the opposite. of this. Okay, all right, so whenever you see a W here, you buy. Whenever you see an M, let me look for an M. Okay, M right here, you short. And then whenever you see a head and shoulder, which is here, this was a head and shoulder, you look, head and shoulder here, this was a nice head and shoulder. It went and sell, but they're not for long, but just for a short time, right? Then let's try to look for a converse head and shoulder. I hope I could find it somewhere. Let me look for a head and shoulder, converse head and shoulder. Okay, this is it. Good. I'm liking this one. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. I'm liking this, guys. So whenever you see these types of pattern, make sure you take advantage of them. You don't waste time. Understand? You don't waste time. So this mine of, okay, as you can see, head and shoulder, perfect. Your entry will be somewhere here. Then you enter for a buy, and then the market is already going up. So already these chart patterns helps you to know when you are supposed to enter or supposed to exit your market. So that's how it goes when it comes to chart patterns, right? Okay, so I think that will be all for this lesson. So we talked about cycle levels, and then how you plot trend lines, right? After plotting your trend lines, and then you can go ahead and add your high and low of the week, and then knowing chart patterns as well. So 4 things, that's the things that I do in order for me to trade. If I don't get to see those type of 4 confirmation, I don't get to place a trade. And then whenever it's on Mondays, I don't usually trade on Monday. I usually trade starting on Tuesday. Why? Because of the high and low of the week. I usually trade on Tuesday after I get like the 50 pips movement on the high and low of the week. If I don't get anything, I don't get to place a trade on Monday. I will have to wait for this momentum candlestick which happened somewhere here. This was it. Now it's showing me that I'm gonna be having more off buys for this week. So these 4 things, trust me, they will change the way that you trade. So for today, we talked about these 4 things. On the next lesson, I'm gonna be talking on price action more, and then at the same time showing you guys where I do my entries, my exiting, and how I get to flip my accounts and everything like that. I'll get to do that with you next week. That's when I'll be dropping my videos. So please guys, don't forget to subscribe and share this video, and also don't forget to comment. So yeah, peace out.